The Early Days program is an Australian-wide program of workshops specifically designed for mothers, fathers and other carers of young children who have either recently had a diagnosis of autism or are in the assessment and diagnosis phase of autism. And it's designed to be an initiative that has a lot of workshops with small numbers in them to make the experience quite intimate for families. People have an opportunity to meet other people in similar circumstances, get some information about the particular topic that the workshop's on, share what it's like in their family to be parenting a child with autism, and hopefully get some new skills and information that they can use at home with their kids. Early Days is a very important initiative because we're really trying to target the very early years of that child's life, which, as we know from the science, is the best way to support a child with autism in terms of promoting their development and maybe decreasing the impact that a diagnosis of autism might have on their life later. One of the things we have found in the first 2 years of Early Days is that a lot of the parents attending the workshops are managing to access a workshop within the first 3 to 6 months of the diagnosis of their child. And that's really great in terms of getting information, good information to them quickly and letting them know about what supports are available. The other couple of benefits of the Early Days initiative is because we have designed it to be small workshops, but a lot of them across the country, it means that we're able to get quite close to where families live. For example, again, over a quarter of the Early Days workshops are being run in rural and remote areas in Australia, which is about right in terms of the population spread. One of the other benefits of the Early Days initiative is that we have been able to be quite flexible with whether or not a child has had a diagnosis or confirmed diagnosis or not. Families can attend an Early Days workshop if they are still in that assessment and diagnosis phase. And the good thing about that is it's getting good, reliable, quality information to families even earlier and helping them understand what is this thing called autism, what is the possible impact that my child will have, this will have on my child, and what can we do about it now? We've deliberately tried to design the workshops to be run in very small groups. The idea behind the small groups is so that parents get a lot of time to meet each other, and it's important to, we know that it can help promote the well-being of people if they get some time to be with other people that are in a similar circumstance and share what it's like for them and what they've learned and what they're doing. The workshops themselves have been designed to complement each other. So we have a series of one-day workshops that are trying to tackle topics and information that we think are very important from an evidence point of view to really assist parents in those early years. All of the workshops are designed in a way where we provide a little bit of information to people that are in the workshop. We give them a chance to consider what that means for them and their family, and we give them an opportunity to learn a small set of new things that they might do at home which can support the development of their child. And we have deliberately tried to keep the information that we talk at parents, keep that to a minimum and allow time for them to consider what that means for them and interact a lot with each other. The workshops are also designed to complement services and supports provided by the early intervention sector, which is a very important point. Early Days is not trying to replace any wonderful and fantastic services the early intervention sector provides to families across Australia, but complement these. And it's an initiative that could particularly suit families who are on a wait list for services and supports, or are just sort of starting in that early stage of their journey in the early intervention sector. Again, providing them with some simple, clear ideas of things they could do at home to promote their child's development and support other members of their family to find ways to interact with their child with autism in positive ways. Essentially, birth to 6 is the initiative is targeted at those families with the child between those age groups. What we're seeing is families come where children have an average, where the child who has a diagnosis with autism is between 3 and 4, which is what you'd expect because that's commonly when a diagnosis is confirmed. But we'd like to see that getting a little bit younger, where we are really reaching families who are at that truly early stage of their journey with autism, because we think that they are the group that will get the most benefit out of the Early Days initiative. Unfortunately for parents of a child with autism, there is a lot of good information out there, but there's also a lot of really poor information out there. It's important that very early on, again, in the child's journey with autism, that we are able to get the best information about how a child's brain develops and how we can support that development. We also in the Early Days initiative are trying to work with parents to support them to understand what is the difference between good information that you can rely on that has some scientific backing to it versus information that may have no proof to it and no scientific backing, and they may need to question. And so rather than telling parents exactly what to do on Early Days, we've tried to work with them so that we can skill them up to ask critical questions of the service sector about what is and isn't backed by science, but also critical questions that helps them work out what's right for their family, because they know what's best essentially, and we're there to support them to make those decisions but not tell them what to do. We're hoping that that's one message they take away of there are a suite of things that they could get access to that will support their child, and what they are and how to find them. So we're hoping also through the Early Days program that parents find out about other types of supports they can access in their area or in different ways. For example, online workshops that they could do and telephone workshops that they might want to participate in. And it'd be good if they came out of workshops knowing what they are and how to get to them. The other thing that we are hoping they come away from is just, again, a handful of skills that complement what they're already trying to do with their child with autism, but build on what they know. Very concrete things that they can take home and start doing the next day.